Arakel's floor, Enoch meets a resistance group known as the Freemen, who despise the form of evolution espoused by the Watchers. Sin, leader of the group, asks Enoch to calm the fury of the Fire Nephilim, creatures born out of the Nephilim's cannibalism. Employing a mysterious power, Enoch defeats the Fire Nephilim and sets out for the next floor of the tower.
Don't push your luck, Enoch. There are still things you have yet to witness. The potential of humans is unlimited. Their evolution progresses faster than even God could imagine. What have you to say of this new world? Nothing. Know that people welcome this evolution. Know that they revel in their new world. Do not expect to find support here, Enoch. You are an uninvited guest.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play El Shaddai.
Hey, you should see this place. Suffice to say, we can search on foot. Good idea. I'll make arrangements. Thanks. Talk to you later.
It appears Azazel has gifted the people an advanced civilization. Without such a foundation, it will only result in chaos and ruin. Enoch, you must hurry out of here.
Lucifer's waiting for us off in the distance. But first we need to take care of this guy up here. Alright, I'll give it to you guys this time. I mean, on the one hand, this place is really, really pretty. But on the other hand, it's also like Mirror's Edge shiny. And that's never a good sign.
Hey. Looking sharp, kiddo. Feeling good? Ready to race?
Welcome to Azazel's floor, where we completely change all of the rules. So our controls have been rather drastically modified here. Our attack methods are still the same, but we've lost the ability to jump and have replaced it with a turbo boost. Our guard and purification abilities are also gone and have been replaced with a dodge slide. It lets us get under all barriers and will also let us sort of smack into enemies. As you saw, we started off barehanded, but there are individualized fruits of wisdom sitting about the track. Currently we're on the arch. Weapons, for the most part, do what they've done previously. The arch is slashy, the veil is punchy, and the gale is shooty. They have charge attacks and individual attacks. One thing I am extremely thankful for in this stage is the absolute overflow of health pickups they've given us. I think it was a very good decision on the part of the designer, since we are completely changing all of the rules here and introducing a completely new control scheme, giving us an abundance of health was really the best way to go about it. Also, we've already seen pretty much all of the enemies we'll be encountering. Those flying drones are going to be our main enemies, but also there's the motorcycle goons we've been encountering as well. Is it me, or did those guys look familiar somehow? So since we're on Azazel's floor, most of the enemies are archetype by default. So the Gale is our best bet. At least for the majority of the stage it is. So in case you couldn't tell by his armaments, this particular robot is a Veil-type monster. Only one of its kind on the stage. It attacks very much like a Veil type. Very punchy, very in your face. Very slow. Well, 1 down, 2 to go, I guess. Now, hopefully it's rather obvious that this is the Archetype robot. It's probably the most difficult of the 3 to deal with. Those lasers that it shoots out are low enough to the ground that we can't dodge under them like we have been with the gates. Also, they come out pretty quick, they're very wide, and they come out in groups of 3, so it's a bit difficult to get around its attacks. Thankfully, as always, there's an absolute plethora of health pickups for us to get. Right, 2 down, 1 to go. So this is our Gale. Definitely the least obvious of the 3 in terms of visual distinction. It's also the least obvious of the 3 as to how to effectively hit it. First things first. We need to get ourselves a Veil. Here we are. So the way that we deal with this guy is that first we got to get a hold of one of those smaller guys around him. We punch out those, and then it flies into the big guy, and he loses his balance so we can get in and smack him around. It's not immediately obvious, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy to accomplish.
Hey. Yup, that's taken care of. What? There's something like that? Wow, you gotta feel bad for Enoch. Yeah, of course I'll back him up. Yeah, talk to you later.
My ass, you'll back us up. Anyways, our destination is that landing pad looking thing right there in the center of the screen. But we got this little side area to take care of. It really is completely optional, just a bunch of flames of power. There's only one Freeman for this stage, and there's no darkness. Damn it, Lucifer, could you even give us the illusion that you're actually here for us? Just stand with your feet on the ground.
Changes form, it becomes vulnerable to a different weapon.
So, meet the Battral, which I'm almost certain is a really bad English name. So as Raphael sort of hinted at there, the Battral is our first enemy with a truly dynamic type. It will switch between the three types as things go on. Right now, it's a Gale, as best evidenced by the swarm of missiles it shoots out.
Use your arch.
So now it's switched over to Veil type. Veil type is probably the hardest to deal with. It's because of the wide arcs of its swings and also the speed of its jumps and falls. Thankfully, though, it doesn't stay in that form for long. Now we're in Arch mode. So long as you can pick up the Gale quickly, the Arch mode is the quickest, or is the easiest one to deal with. That spin attack can be dangerous, but liberal application of the dash will get you well out of the way all the time. So now we're back in Gale mode.
Don't give up. Keep moving.
Also, yes, those stomps can hurt you. Don't try and insult it until it stops moving. Gale mode here is probably the part where the mobile fortress technique of the Veil best shines. And now we're a third of the way done with it. Anyway, As soon as it starts firing off missiles, it pushes you well back, and the ability to move forward while continuously guarding is extremely useful for maximizing your damage. Oddly enough, the Battral tends to spend most of its time in Gale mode, despite the fact that, ostensibly, its creator is an archetype. Also, yes, that mechanical arch up there is in fact an actual arch. It is a field of damage that will hurt you if you jump into it. So stay out of the way. It's rather a tricky thing to deal with, since the best way to actually be dealing damage to it in Veil mode is from the air, since that's your best bet of avoiding its swings while attacking. Just a little challenge to deal with. And it's down into the red. Curiously enough, unlike the Fire Nephilim we fought last stage and Sariel, the Battral doesn't get any new tricks and doesn't become any more powerful as it progresses into the red. I mean, I suppose that makes sense. It's a machine. It has a maximum output, and it's probably running on that at all times. But as with all bosses, I do like them to get progressively more and more varied as you go through them. Would have been nice, but it's still an interesting enough boss without. Yeah, I totally blew my shot there at a hyper attack. Something you may have noticed, though, is while I was taking damage in overboost mode, you saw those blue lights flashing around Enoch. You're not invincible in overdrive mode. You can lose health, however, you regenerate your health extremely quickly, so there's very little chance of you ever dying. And yes, right there, I forgot that thing will hurt you. But down the robot goes. In the end, just a pile of scrap.
Azazel's realm was quite something, but now that's behind us, you're halfway up the tower. Your good friend Armoros is waiting on the next floor. What? He's not your friend? You'd better tell him that. He sure thinks he is. Whatever. Your mission is the same. It wouldn't do for you to take pity on him. Capture him and bind his soul, if you want to stop the Elders from flooding the world.